I'm back with a bang, 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 and a max, max, max. So this morning I was just discussing with Dominic. I'm like, we are maxing up. And I'm asking, can you hear me? Am I audible? Charlie, the numbers are just rising by the day. There's an upsurge and we have to take good care of ourselves. So from now till this will be the new Maxine on Random Thought with Maxine, or Max Dominic is also Max.
Yeah.
And we are glad you can hear us,
God.
okay? Because Charlie, we just want to keep safe so that together we can always come your way and have our thoughts shared with you, okay? So it's Random Thought with Maxine. Welcome to the Monday edition. I'll be right back. All right, so agenda max up, and observe all the safety protocols. We'll just go into today's topic for discussion. You know how it is like on the show. When the thing pops in my head, no, Charlie, I'll come here and share with you. And this is how you get to know exactly what happens in my head. But this morning, I just want to ask you some few questions, okay? Are people still nice? Are people still nice to you? So gone were those days, I mean, the old folks would always make this comparison. And then all I said in she was that children of nowadays, you don't really want to offer help when you see adults with luggages and all that. But you see, old folks are always happy when you extend a helping hand. And even it's not with all old folks. Some people will say, oh, I'm okay, I can handle it. But a little push will make them give up and they will want to hand over their luggage to you. So it's nice. You are extremely excited when you go to the bank and somebody sorts you out. Like, oh, I met this teller. She was extremely nice. And I mean, it's like the highlight of your day. You go by some place you want to park, you are finding some challenges getting a slot or a space. Somebody quickly drives away and say, madam, you can park here. Like, that's a nice gentleman. But the question is, even in today's world, we are all busy going about our normal duties. Charlie, the hustle and the bustle is for real. My question is, are people still nice? And with examples I gave, are you also in the habit of doing something nice for somebody? Just like you would want to give your seat to that old woman on the church roll. Just like you would want to help them with their luggage. Just like you would want to say thank you. I mean, thank you is always a nice way of also being nice. Just like you want to give a smile. Just like you want to offer a little bit of help to lift the burden on somebody's shoulder. So are you a nice person? Does it pay to be nice? And this is what we are discussing this morning. So you know how it is like when you're in a relationship with somebody. Especially for us, the women. The men will tell you that we don't like it when it doesn't end well and say you have used me. And it is mutual. We've all used each other. So why do you make it feel like you're always the victim? And you are the first people to show the victim card. I have been used. But you see, be that as it may, you know this whole relationship thing is like a partnership. So you give, I give, it's a give and take affair. But usually, I don't know what it is with the ladies. Some ladies, let me be very specific here, with this whole mantra of you have used me and I thought you were going to marry me and all that. And usually the men will complain and say, we don't like it when you speak from that angle. Because, Charlie, we're in this together. It is not like you decided to be on your own and just venture into a relationship. Now, you know you're a nice person. You know you try to be nice. Sometimes, even at the expense of your comfort, you still try to be nice. Are you that type who is always eager to make somebody happy? even though sometimes it's practically impossible. You know that, can I leave the case with you? I am off to the market. And you know that, Charlie, you have a tall list of things you have to clear on your list before the day ends. Just when the person drops that suggestion, you know you cannot do it. By like, it is practically impossible for you, but you still would make a way and sort that person out. Saying no and sticking to your decision is something that comes with a bit of challenge for everybody. You know, some months back on the show, I did a topic on how to say no and not feel guilty. But there is another brother of saying no, which we find difficult. I mean, in as much as you can say no, there's also a part of our lives that we find difficult dealing with. And you know, it's a new year. The start of a new year is a prime time to think about those habits that you want to drop and shed, and think of those new ones you want to bring on board. So this morning, I was just thinking through it. How many times have we not gone out of our way ordinarily to do things for people that are practically impossible? And why do we do that? But you say, oh, I will try. Example, somebody wants to pay you a visit. You are tired. It has been a long weekend. You know that all you need at that material moment is sleep. And the person is like, oh, can I pass by over the weekend? They're like, oh, you can pass by. While in your mind, you know that all you needed for the weekend is a good sleep. Why are we eager to please people, even when it looks practically impossible? Is it the love your neighbor as yourself rule that applies in all situations? Is it that, can I sacrifice a bit of my time? Can I sacrifice a bit of myself? Because that's what love is all about. Now, my question this morning is still hanging. Are you a nice person? Do you do things? Are you eager to do things which you know is not within your means to do? Is saying no and sticking to your decision a problem for you? Are you able to change your mind at the quickest, slimmest minutes? Now, here's the deal. Somebody will say that, oh, sometimes the situations are that you cannot do anything about it. Example, your boss. So I've said it over and over again. There are people that you cannot say no to. And I don't know how saying no to your boss makes you feel. But we have all been able to put up with some behaviors of bosses just because they are bosses. 11th hour, they are calling on you. Can I get the report by noon? When the person just gave you the information, you saw the email 11. You know there is no way you can hit the 12 noon target. But you see, as a serious employee, you have to show self and do the needful. So you do everything. Everything that matters to you must come to a standstill so that you clear that report. We all get pleased when people do things for us. We are all excited when people come through for us just when we think this is not possible. But guess what? In our quest to be eager to do things for people, there's a price to be paid. I don't know if you have ever received a compliment from somebody that says that, hey, you are such a people pleaser. I know that this is not too good a compliment that somebody wants to receive, but we all at a point are stuck with pleasing people, even when it's practically impossible for us. Why do we please people? Are you a people pleaser? How do you know you're a people pleaser? The thing that the person says you should do, no? Is it something you can do? Would you have needed some extra time? Do you have a lot on your plate to clear? Why would you want to put that one as paramount and leave all other things? Are you afraid that your relationship with that person, should you say no, will be mad? Are you afraid that, okay, because that person is your boss and you are the subordinate, you might not get some favors in the near future, so you have to tread cautiously? Pleasing a person requires emotional energy and commitment. It's not easy. Have you ever had a knock on your door? You know that friend, you don't want her around. And when the person is coming he's coming with all the children. And it is discomforting. People knock on your door uninvited, unannounced. Are you there? I was just passing, and you know that you are going somewhere in the next 40 minutes. You cannot just tell the person that, oh, Charlie, this is the wrong time to catch me. I have somewhere going. Then you are sitting down, and in your head you are praying, oh God, when will this woman leave? Or when will this man leave? As an just because you have failed to tell the person that, I'm sorry, in the next 40 minutes I should be stepping out. You are rather late for an appointment that you had booked for the next 2 weeks, just because somebody decided to pull up a surprise visit on you, which you did not even anticipate. Why do we take in the things we take in when in our deepest of hearts we do not like it? You don't like it when that woman drops the children by your house. You do not like it when that woman says, oh, today I am running late, can you pick my children up? You do not like it when you are always the one waiting for those children to be ready for school, when your word is already like prepared already. Because guess what? Somebody is going to make you late because they are not prepared and you are. You are not ready when the person says that I need this X amount of brodo to be baked in the next 1 hour. The person just called you an hour ago. You know you don't have flour. You know you don't have magic. You know you don't have all the necessary ingredients. But you would want to squeeze time in that 1 hour. Go get the necessary ingredients. Bake at your own discomfort. And guess what? Approval, right? Guess what? Validation, right? Guess what? Praise, right? Guess what? Shout outs. Oh, as for Dominic, any day, anytime, he will be there to save us. As for Dominic, call on him. Midnight, he will respond. I get it. It shows you are reliable. But you see, at the end of the day, there are some gestures we have shown to people that has cost us. Example, in your deepest of heart, you knew that you were not supposed to part away with that X amount of money when the person asked for it. But the person came, I need this money. And probably you have had an issue with the person before. Only it's not something that the person is trustworthy. But just because you want to please the person, and the person has given you litany of reasons why they need the money, and you think just saying no will make you feel some way, or they will see you some way. So you say, what? Charlie, let me just give the money. Fast forward, I'll pay back in 2 months' time. 2 months' time, the installment has become wahala. When you knew that that money was meant for something else, and you dreaded the fact that the person was not going to pay back, but you just needed to please, and so you gave out the money. Guess what? You have paid the price of losing your money, not getting your money back, and probably the person even treating you as if they did you a favor by collecting your own money. Now, in this new year, does it still pay to be nice? Does it still pay to go out of your way and do the mission impossible? Have people taken you for granted over the period? It pays to be nice, I know that. And you know how it is with the women flair. Or then I know oh, you do the job. And you know, when a woman just tells a guy, you're such a darling, the person has overed you. And so constantly there are women, some women who are in the habit of just, if it is your duty to write the report, they will just shift the focus and say, aren't you a darling? Then the aren't you a darling will make you melt like butter that is on the sun. And then by the time you realize, oh, you are melted and you are dripping, and the person has gotten you to do their bidding. There are times that we have been drained, and I said, it is emotionally draining when you please people. Apart from peer pressure, the next thing that is emotionally draining is pleasing people. Now, myself and my sisters run a mobile library. There are times that you see, we tell the children, come between the hours of 8 and 10. Once you don't meet that time frame target, you are out. You are just there, and these children will come around 11, 12 when we are closed. Then they are giving you 1,001 reasons why they came late. I was washing. My mother sent me, and this and that. And sometimes you just look at them with eyes of pity. And you just look at the fact that the person has walked all the way from their house just to come collect storybooks. And how would they survive a whole week without a storybook? And that's the human part. Then you give them the book. Warn them not to come back around the same time again. Guess what? They'll come at 11. Just because when they came the last time, you were able to sort them out. Then my little sister is of the opinion that when they come after 11, let's sack them, so that it serves as a deterrent. Once the person is served after 11, the person knows that there's always a way out. When I give that excuse that my mother sent me, I did my washing, it will just fly with them and I'll get a book. You know, then I was thinking that my sister was very wicked. But I didn't know that we were just pleasing the children. And children have a way of getting you to do their whims. Sometimes you know that this child is making demands that as a parent, you should not satisfy that demand. It's an obnoxious one. You know the child is just being a brat. Just say, oh yeah, and even as parents, sometimes people find it difficult to say no, and they are always pleasing their children. Mommy, we want to go to the mall. You are tired. You have things to do. Okay, so you say, let's go to the mall. Mall it is. And so these children grow up, and they think that everybody must please them. It's either they get it their way or nothing else. They hate that somebody says you cannot get this. You cannot drink 2 calipo a day. Just because they are used to getting people who are always pleasing them. Once you say it, you must get it. And that's the kind of adults we have grown to be. Just because your friend is always there to salvage the situation, you are always giving him or her a list to go to the market for you. Just one time, bill, and the person says, oh, today, can you get me okra, tomatoes, and onions? Now it has become a standing order. You, the woman who is taking the list, you know that your list is that tall. Sometimes you have to pick a taxi, drop your stuff off before you drop that person's. And in your head, you are insulting the person. What a lazy woman. Market too, am I the one who have to get stuff from the market for you? And it is draining you. And sometimes you see, we are not able to vent out the truth that, Charlie, I sorted you last time because I had time. This time, I don't think I have the time to do that for you. Can you just do it? And that has always been the challenge. It's a start of a new year. I just took time to look at the number of people I have pleased. I'm still pleasing when it's discomforting, and how I have to pull through this. Are you a people pleaser? Is there something wrong with always getting somebody to do your bidding? Somebody is sitting and say, oh, me, I'm blessed. The least thing I say, sometimes I don't even have to talk. They will do it for me. But have you taken into consideration those who are doing the things for you, how they are feeling? Are you taking them for granted just because they are willing and ready to go an extra mile for you? Do you know the kind of price they pay emotionally, psychologically, to just do something for you which ordinarily you can do? Maybe it's just because over the period you are used to them sorting you out. So as I said, it has become the routine. Somebody should do it for you. Just because the person too is afraid that when they say no to you, it might mar a relationship. Now, we have all felt used at a point. Dominic, haven't you felt used at a point?
So many times.
Yeah,
so many times.
And whether we like it or not, there are people who have agenda to use us. Once we are willing and ready to do their bidding, they don't count the costs that we go through just to sort them out.
Yeah.
Is it time to start being smart?
Yeah, I think so. You know.
This is unchristian.
Yeah, and there's a comment. I want you to take that.
All right.
That comment from Frank.
So Frank, there's a comment from you. Hi Frank, Happy New Year. Some of us being nice is a default behavior. Nothing can change it. We are always being used. Happy New Year, Maxine. Happy New Year, Frank. So it's like you're on default setting, right?
Exactly.
And that is the part that kind of like kills me. When Ashanti man says, like it kills me. Like when the word of God says that the word of God is like a double-edged sword. It cuts.
Yeah.
Because there are times you don't even know you are being used.
Exactly.
And you see, when you say you are being used, it sounds negative. Oh, you are just helping. You are just being supportive. You are just being super nice. You are afraid that, oh, it will ruin a relationship. And it has become like, you have become like an instruction manual. Do this and you will do it.
Yeah.
And there is no way, absolutely no way. Now let me share the story with you. Somebody in my office just told me one time that, you know, women are always in the habit. Some women, let me quickly chip in that. Now when you marry them and you just want to help them with the chores, they get comfortable and then they want to leave everything for you. When he said it, I thought it was funny. But he said, Maxine, that is it. When some women realize that, oh, my husband will do the cooking. And so that is how come some men have deliberately purposed that there is no way they are sorting women out with the chores. And it's unfortunate that a woman will take a man for granted just because they offered to help. Can you pick the children up? Oh, today I cannot pick them up. Now, you know, originally you were supposed to pick children up. Just because man decided to pick one time off, now it has become standing order. Man has picked the children. No matter how tight his schedules are, you must meet that target. See, you cannot carry responsibility of the world's happiness on your shoulders. It is not in your power to carry everybody's responsibility on your shoulders. There are some you can carry. And guess what? You cannot always make everybody happy.
Exactly.
See, because what? The things that you are doing for people, it's not like you are doing the good so that they do some for you in return. No. But you are doing it because you are doing it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you know you are doing it not because you are doing it. You are doing it because you don't want to be tagged as you are not supportive. You are not super nice. And you hate what you are doing. That one, there's no blessing in it.
Yeah.
True or false?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So, for you to please people and not get anything in return and get into your room and insult them in your heart while they are sitting on your sofa, you are praying, God, oh, let this woman leave, let this woman leave. This man is talking plainly, like I have had a hard time. Like, instead of you, like, sometimes, and the people, you see, can't he or she see that I look tired? Can't he or she see that I look drained? Sometimes you're telling them, oh, I just came back from work. It has been a hectic day. Going up and down like that. So the person says, oh, sir. And the person is that oblivious. Even you telling them, Sometimes you just have to tell them, and net but we don't want to do that. It's time to work on ourselves. Frank, I can understand you're on default setting, but you see, there are times that the things that comes to us are things we cannot do anything about. It is not within your power. And that's the conversation we are having this morning. If the person wants you to address, for example, 300 envelopes by the end of the day, let's notice.
Sure.
The person does not know what your list for the day, to-do list for the day entail. And you cannot do 300, but you can do 100. Even that one, you are squeezing time to do that. Next time, I will send a signal. You don't give me late notice. You want me to do something, can you run it by me 2 or 3 days? If I can do it, I can do it. Are you okay with signing all these letters by 12 o'clock noon? The next thing that comes from your mouth is, yes, sure. See, sometimes you don't even give it a thought. Can we have a meeting tomorrow by 8 o'clock? You know your tomorrow is booked. You don't think twice about it. Okay, 8 o'clock it is. And there are things that are also paramount that you can do. Please, in this new year, take more responsibility for your own life than any other person's life. We are apologizing just because we cannot do things. When truly you cannot do it. It's not like you are just being callous and now chimney. You cannot. It's like somebody seeing you and thinking, oh, you work here, you can get me employment. You cannot. But when the person comes, oh, you keep sending the application. I'm talking to the HR. Meanwhile, you are not close to where the thing is. You cannot get that person that job.
Oh, God.
So why do you keep giving them false hope? Why do you keep giving them assurance just to let them listen to what they want to listen to? Isn't that fraudulent? Isn't that a lie? Please, enough of wanting to fix everybody's feelings. Enough of you wanting to make everybody happy. Enough. We are not thinking twice, even when it comes to the offer we want to help people with. People have neglected family, friends, just because work has taken their time. I can understand. This is what brings the money home. But before work, there was family. There was friends. There are people that you have built a relationship around. You don't want to help when you don't have the time and the resources. Please know that. I cannot help you because I don't have the time and I don't have what it takes to help you. As simple as that. I know we are still struggling with becoming better people. Parents are just saying yes to everything their children throws at them. People are emotionally exploiting us. Just because they know once they throw that line, you'll be quick enough to do their bidding. Ain't you a darling? And you know you don't have the time and the resources. But because of darling, you take it and do it and insult them in your head. You don't like pizza. You have gone out. You know you don't like pizza. I can understand. Somebody is thinking, what happened to compromise? Oh, pizza with sausage. Oh, yeah. And that's it. You don't take alcohol. You have gone out with the boys. Just because you don't want a tag. They say, oh, we're 2%. So, oh, it's okay.
Yes,
you come back and you are vomiting. Because you just want somebody to feel good. You want banku and okra soup. You know. You have gone to the place. Everybody is ordering something that you don't know about. Pressure has caught you. And you want to please your boss. That's because your boss has a kind of say, it's a vegetarian, it's going vegan. So I bought vegan food. You have not eaten some before. You know what you want on that menu. But Dominic, hasn't it happened to you before? Oh, taste, it's nice.
Yeah,
you enjoy it. You enjoy it.
You know, there was one time that we went out and there were lots of drinks. Okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, there were no non-alcoholic drinks. Okay. But what happened was, before I left, I was taking this paper drink, soft drink. So I kept it in my bag, my backpack. And then when we went, and they ordered all the drinks, so it came in, I saw that they were all alcoholic. And then my boss asked me, "What are you taking?" I said, "I'm taking malt." He said, "They don't serve malt here." What other thing is there? He said, "There's nothing non-alcoholic." I said, "Okay, I came prepared." Then I brought it out.
Sharp.
Dominic, I paid for all these things. And I said, "Well, after taking this, I have to take painkiller. Alcohol is not my thing." He said, "Okay, then you have to take it as food."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, then you need to package it for me to send."
That's it.
Then he looked at me. Said, "Are you the only one who goes to church?" I was also
Yeah, they'll give you their credential. Oh, now I led SC. Those times I was a chapel prefect and all that.
And I told him it's not just about being a Christian.
That's it.
When I take it, my head will ache. So I had to let it go.
But
You
see,
paid for
sometimes we
it,
have
but
succumbed to the pressure.
sadly.
Just on that table, you are the odd one out.
Yeah.
They'll just give you a little pressure. A little.
Exactly.
Sometimes when you baby also a day also for crowd now. Then by the time you realize, "Mami so me num be fire hunjimu."
Sadly.
Then you to yourself jimu. See, we have all been used,
Sadly.
whether we like it or not. Just because we cannot just say no.
Yeah.
We have gone on and on pleasing people. See, please our parents. Some doctor, you don't want to be a doctor. They say
Exactly.
become doctor. From childhood, we have pleased our parents. Sometimes you know you are married. Your mother tells you, not anybody from this ethnic group. You know that ethnic group,
Exactly.
you are married to somebody that ordinarily, if not for pleasing parents, you have
You
a married
wouldn't have.
Kojo Mensa.
Yeah.
Now you have left to Kweku AJ, and you don't even know what to do.
What to?
People
Yeah.
are living with so much emotional baggages because there's always a price to pay for pleasing people.
Sure. And so Nina is having a comment here that I want you to take.
Okay, so this from Mina. So it's good to be branded than suffer within. It seems wicked at the initial stage and you can be hated, but I look at the long-term benefit for both parties and make decisions anyway. Thank you so much, Mina. So you see, it's the branding we do not want.
Sadly.
You remember I said from the onset that if somebody tells you that, hey, you are such a people pleaser, you take offense.
Exactly.
Hey, why do you say so? Because you know it comes with all the negative vibes that you can't say no. And I know myself, I am a victim.
Yeah.
Then in a subtle way I have said I'll do things, last minute appointments, and sometimes you know that there is no way you should have taken this thing.
Sadly.
But you see, just because you cannot say no, just because somebody wants to emotionally exploit you by saying things, me and Kameyama, with the dream is so there, and this one to a no, if it's nothing, just do it. And you are not, they will tell you things that you are not flexible. You are not considerate. You are not accommodating. But you see, at the end of the day, you accommodate all these things and you pay the price. Just like the money example I gave. You know, you set through your soul. And the vibe you got was that do not part with this money. Later you part. And then the person cannot pay you back. Just because you wanted to please them. There are times me cry have pledged. I know it was pleasing pledge. You know how it is. Sometimes it is all because the person who is leading the thing knows you. And the person keeps mentioning your name. Keep mentioning your name. And you know that your name is given to him, and then you know, oh, this one there.
To cut everything. Let
me just raise my hand and give some 200 and do that.
Oh God.
And you know, people say no, give from your heart. It's not like it. But sometimes in a nice way, you sit back and you know that, oh, maybe the purchase of that thing should have been 8.
Yeah.
Or that money that you said you shouldn't have gone beyond that.
Yeah.
But you see, in the midst of all the talks, there's a human part to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a God part to making that decision, and there's a human part. The human part is, what will people think? Have you been used? Do you feel used? Are you constantly in the habit of pleasing people? We have dealt with saying no and feeling no guilt for it. But there's a part we did not deal with. You can say no and still change your mind.
Sadly.
You can say, I won't do it, and call the person. So, Charlie, I was the one who said I can, but now I've seen that, I have time. Just because you thought through it and like, no, I don't want to mar this friendship. Can I salvage this? I'll be right back.
Alright, so if you're not joining us, this is Random Thought with Maxine. It is the Monday edition. Today happens to be the 18th of January 2021. The month is moving so fast. Oh God. And so if you have New Year resolutions, you better change them to action plans. You better start putting some timelines on it. Start working to achieve it. This is Random Thought with Maxine. And today we're asking you a simple question. Do you feel being used? If you have any question, you can share with us in the chat session on YouTube or on Facebook, just in the comment section. This is Random Thought with Maxine.
Alright, so this morning we are talking used. I have been used. You have been used. We've all been used. We'll still be used. But it's time for us to identify our users. You know, there are people, they only pop up when they need you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's time for you to identify your users. Those who have been using you in a nice way. They give you all the sugar-coated words, and you do their bidding, and Othello, they are nowhere to be found. And you're like, where does this guy run to? There are some calls when they come through, you know that this is your user calling you to come and do his or her bidding. And the part I don't get, Dominic, you are the one who is married. Married friends who drop by with their children.
Yeah.
Then they come.
Yeah.
And you know, it means you have to be monitoring your child
and
their children too.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes it's not sometimes. Upbringing is different.
Exactly.
The way I know somebody who vividly told her sister that I don't want your children around my children. They are bad influence. And she was hurt. It was subtle.
Sure.
But the lady was black. I mean, this is her biological sister. She says, when your children come around my house, they are ill-mannered.
Wow.
And they have a way of transferring their bad manners to my children. So I don't want your children. And she was saying it to me and she was laughing about it. But her sister meant it because, you see, it's you teaching somebody and somebody comes to, you know how it is with the parable of the sower. Sowing and somebody coming to sow among it.
Yeah.
You have to wait for everything to grow
before you can.
And that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And so there are people who will safeguard their space. What kind of children even come around your place? There are some children, when they come, all your bulbs and your ceiling fans will go down. Meanwhile, your son does not even know how to throw a pen.
Exactly.
And you know that.
And they will have to learn from this.
Yes. The person is coming just because they want to use you as a nanny for the day. And guess the things you have to grapple with. You are not only being the nanny for them, you have to also allow them to infiltrate your environment with their naughtiness.
Exactly.
Talk more, stress you, and then when the time is up, they come for their children. And you know how it is like, we enjoyed ourselves, we'll come back.
and
like, you know, in your deepest of hearts, madam, this is your last. I don't want you in my house again. Or you go out with your friends and like, it was a nice time together, let's do this again. You know you don't want to do it again. Because per the outing and the things that happened, it didn't sit well with your spirit.
Exactly. And if left with you alone, there are some of the things that you wouldn't have done.
Exactly.
But because they are there, you need to sacrifice them.
Exactly.
And some of those sacrifices are
And they are calling you, oh, Charlie, last time the joint we went, can we do this again? You are saying in your head, I don't want to do this again. But in your heart, you don't want to do it. But it's left with your mouth.
To say, exactly.
To say that, Master, that meeting we went the other time, Charlie, I'm not feeling it. I won't do it again. But you say, okay, we'll see about that. And I align, oh, I had fun. I had fun. Meanwhile, the fun cry, you didn't have even an iota of it. See, our life is passively and constantly shaped and formed by our schedules.
Sure.
We all have schedules. Whether it's active schedule, inactive schedule. So don't let anybody come and be interjecting your schedules like that. If you have the time and the resources to offer that help, underlining where there's time and resources, offer it. This is not to say I have sat here this morning and I'm proving it tomorrow. No. But you see, we have tried to do.
In fact, you are the president of the Stingy Women Association.
No. But you see that example I just said about that the kids come around, I'm tired.
Exactly.
My head aches. Yeah. And I can't just say no. Now you know what I do. I hear knock. I don't mind them.
Exactly.
I am in the room. Because I can't face them and say, please, today I'm not sharing books.
Exactly.
Come next week. I hear them. And I'll feel guilty. Like when I you see them. Yeah. They'll stand there. Auntie Maxine, no talking. Auntie Maxine, no talking. Third Auntie Maxine, they are gone. Then I lower the radio kakra. And then when they are gone, I increase the volume. Because you see, there are times I'm not in the mood.
Exactly.
There are things I have to do. And it would get into my time and it would eat into my already prepared schedule. Please, if you have ever been used or felt used because you are constantly in the habit of pleasing people, you are constantly eager to put smiles on the faces of people when it's not even within your power to do that, can you check it? Just like you are managing and trying to learn how to say no, can you also learn how to say no and not change your mind and not please people because they say it and they must get it? Let's love one another. No two ways about it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Neighbor who is taking for granted all the niceties because one time your child was sick or you are not feeling too well and you left your child with your neighbor, does not mean that you must constantly be in the habit of leaving them. You don't know their schedules. Can we be a bit considerate? I think a lot of us are inconsiderate. We only think about our needs and wants, how they are met, and we do not think. What does he have to do for a Saturday morning? Have you asked the person? You know, sometimes you don't even have to ask. When you take the child and realize that, oh, madam is cleaning, husband is also sorting children out. There, no, you have to change. You have to let the Holy Spirit lead you and change your mind about leaving your children there. Because minus them, maybe there's a grandma who can take care of them.
Sadly.
Just because that neighbor decides to take your things off the line when the weather changes. No, anytime you wash all your 14 barrels of clothes. And the person is taking them off the line and they are insulting you in their head. And please, let's not compound the problem.
Sure.
Sometimes the person will say, "Mini fear, so fear." And you think the person is wicked. You think the person is wicked. But just that they've had enough of them taking things off the line for you. And taking things off the line is not an easy job. You take packs off. Sometimes the people to come and ask you, "Me packs that's and soon." And all these things you have to grapple with. So this one we are talking. Does it pay to be nice? Sure, it does. We are all happy when somebody does something nice for us. But we're taking people's niceness for granted. You know that because you are late, that person would offer their seat. Does it mean that you don't have to put in an extra effort of being on time? Can we just not take people's niceness for granted? And can we stop overcompensating in order to appear likable? we compensate for everything. If you are not sorry, cry, you are saying you are sorry. If you don't have to apologize, you are apologizing. You know that you spoke the truth. Why apologize? You know that this thing you did, it wasn't on, and you have said it, and the person is angry. Why do you go and say, and I say, no, because you want to please that part of the person that is looking at you some way. Please, it's a new year. We have a lot of things to achieve. People who use us for their own evil and selfish intentions, by the time you realize we're seeing it down, and they will tell you that one more bra because you are there. Please, this is not to say that this morning I sat on the show and this is disclaimer. I came preaching a tremoding and how to be mean. But you see, if the love of God dwells in you, you think about your neighbor.
Yeah.
That's it. You will not inconvenience them.
Sure.
You will not take them for granted. And that's love. Love does not take people for granted.
Sure.
We are pleasing a lot of people because we are taking their niceness and their goodies for granted. Oh, this man is a good man. Any day, anytime, he will sort me out.
Sure.
Have you also tossed the coin on the other side to find out 24/7? How would you feel? Do unto others what you want others to do unto you. And do not overcompensate. Take time to think through the things people ask you to do for them. Genuinely, can you offer help? If you can, shoot. If you cannot, please, in all sincerity. Sometimes you know you cannot. The person is asking for 1,000 Ghana. You have 200. What's a measure? You know you have 200 Ghana. It is not a trimoding. You have gone everywhere. You have checked all your susu box. Your account details. It's 200 cedis. Tell the person I can get you 200 cedis.
Sure.
Why go for 800 cedis for somebody else? Just because the person is seeing you as big man. And you have to give the 1,000 so that in the eyes of the person, you look like a rich man. Now, when the person does not pay, you have 800 Ghana cedis to pay for yourself because you borrowed. Sure. And this is how far you pay for the price of over pleasing people. Enough of pleasing people. We please our parents and Kosishe. Please our with wrong career patterns and career choices, with wrong selection of husbands and boyfriends and all that. At the end of the day, we seek to please God.
Sure.
And that's paramount. Set yourself and know it when you are being used. Be nice. Be very nice. Because guess what? It has become a cliche, but it's true. It pays to be nice.
Sure.
Be nice. But know it when people are taking your niceness for a ride. I'll be right back.
Radio station.
Alright, so this is the concluding part of Random Thought with Maxine. This morning we are talking. And do you feel used? Do you feel somebody's taking you for granted? Do you feel somebody's taking you for a ride? And do you say no with such guilt? Now you think through it and you call the person back in the next 2 minutes and say, Charlie, Massa, I didn't when you know you don't have the time and the resources, always check with it. Be flexible, be considerate, be nice, be super nice. But know it when people are taking your niceness for granted. Because guess what? On your list, there are people who know how to get you to do their bidding. And they have taken advantage over your niceness for a long time. And just like the game, last time I asked somebody, did you play chess? He was laughing. He says, why do you ask? I said, oh, you kind of like a lot of mind games. He knows who to do what for him. So, in as much as the person has New Year resolutions, is know that when it comes to taking care of my kids, I can always leave them with Dominic and probably go to that school or get that thing done. And so you don't know that they have written your name beside what you can do for them. Which is not bad because you are reliable and you are nice. You're a nice Christian brother who can sort a Christian brother out anytime. Knock on his door and he will please you. Please. I took some positions in the past, CCR positions, people pleasing positions. I knew I did not have the time and the resources. But you don't want people to see you some way. So you take it and do biara. Now stop. And there are people too, I think over the period, used me and I didn't know they used me. There's nothing wrong with being used because I've learned my lesson.
Sadly.
And may the Lord open our eyes for all those people who come just to use us for their own selfish intentions. May we identify them. And may we get the courage to tell them that, Master, 2021, they're not using me. You use me, I use you. So that we don't go and sit somewhere and say, I was used. They will go like we all used each other. Because it was a give and take affair. May we be smart. May our eyes open. May the Lord open our eyes for all those who are using us for their own evil intention. May the Lord take away and say amen. So thank you so much for your time, and it's always awesome connecting with you. Oh, you didn't say amen to my declarations.
I said amen.
I want my viewers and listeners. You say amen. Hey, receive it. Share. It's give and take. What are you giving? You are giving. Give and give and give. They say, do not get tired of doing good. In due season, you shall reap if you faint not. But some of the giving, you are giving, and there's nothing that is value adding to your life. So we thank all those who tune in. It's always a pleasure connecting with you. For all the comments.
I think there's one from Frank.
Okay, so there's a comment, Charlie.
It said, how can you stop pleasing people and be nice at the same time?
Okay, so there's always a point where you strike the balance. You know it when somebody comes constantly for money, right? And you know that they don't need it. Sometimes you know it.
Sadly.
You know that they don't need it.
And I can also say that there are some people that ourselves, we make them lazy. Ourselves. We make them lazy.
We empower them to be lazy.
Exactly. They know that if they stay throughout the month without pushing, you're not saying that work is everywhere that you can bump into and get money. At least try your best. But there are some people, you know, genuinely that they're not trying anything. But anytime they come, you give. Anytime they come, you give.
Thank you, Dominic. God bless you. You see an element of trying.
Exactly.
You know that when you go to that woman's house, 4 children, she's putting all of them together. When she comes to tell you that the last one needs his shoe to be laced, you know that Charlie, this woman is doing a lot. Okay, she's packaging lunch for the children. So somebody needs to comb their hair. Okay, that's help. But the person is not doing anything, and the person is sitting down in their sofa, and you are waiting for them, and you are running late, and you say, oh, you are being nice, when you know there's no effort. Please look out for effort. Look out for effort. The reports, maybe the person is 5 chapters, the person has written 3. Akatu. You know the person has done some job on the work. Then giving out the 2, you know, that's a nice person. Can I give the 2? Can't cry, nothing. The person says, write reports for me. And say, because I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice lady. So I'll write. Okay, that is your lot, me dear. This time around. And please get friends who would push you to do an extra job. Dominic, we have not been blunt with our friends. We have not been brutally blunt with them. Because we are afraid that they'll give us names. I just asked for a little help, and you want to come and teach me how to manage my life and manage my finances. Fine, your finances need to be managed because you are clueless and you need help. And you see, it takes people who are sober in spirit. If you are full of pride, you don't like it when people tell you what to do. Like I come here, we talk. Can we do this under 30 minutes? Can we do this under 40 minutes? Can we not extend it? It's feedback.
Sure.
So when somebody gives you feedback, don't think they are just picking on you and that is it. And we are pleasing people because we don't want to give them feedback.
Exactly.
This your behavior, I have to stop. I can't be picking your children from school every day. That's feedback.
Yeah.
And we are shielding and praying about it. That some people has become enemies. They are sitting in our sitting room and they won't go.
Yeah.
This one, you have to pray about it. Oh, please, let's do the needful.
Oh, God.
Thank you very much. I'm also asking God willing on Wednesday with another juicy topic to discuss. And thank you so much for your time, for all the Kekeli, I don't know. I see you. I see you, madam. I should get you to the studio one of these days.
Yeah, it's been a long time I bumped into her.
Okay, you should. Okay, one of these is our own.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yesterday I couldn't go for city prayer meeting. Maybe I could have.
You could have seen it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly. Shout outs from Dominic and myself, and from the Peny team. Thank you so much for connecting with us, and for all those who have been connecting with us. Charlie, thank you so much. It's a wrap, and I'm out of here. Bye.
All right. Alright, so it has been another exciting moment on Random Threaded Maxine. So I want to say a very big thank you to all those who tuned in, to Kekeli, to Frank, to Mina, to all of you who joined on Facebook, on YouTube, to all those who joined on radio, to all those who joined on our website, radio.PenyGh.com or PenyGh.com. We want to say a very big thank you to you. Do make time with us on Wednesday at exactly 10:30 a.m. on Random Threaded Maxine. God bless you for joining us. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful week. Finally, remember to mask up. Take good care of yourself because we need you alive. We love you so much.